At Motorcheck.ie we're very privileged to be given the chance to drive some smashing new cars from time to time, and over the last 4 weeks I've had the Skoda Superb to enjoy. It was only with a brief conversation with one of Ireland's leading trainers in the sales industry, Mark Richardson, last week here at the Europa Academy that I started to realise just how little I know about the car. So we decided to pull it into the showroom here, take 20 minutes, myself and Mark, to walk around it. He's going to impart some of his excellent knowledge on the brand. Hopefully viewers of Motorcheck will find it very informative. Mark,
Shane, how are you?
thank you very much for taking the time to do this. I know it's a very busy schedule.
Pleasure.
Would you take a walk around the car with me and explain some of the features?
Absolutely. Whilst we're here, Shane, just to point out firstly, again, standard in this vehicle, you have automatic lights and automatic wipers. Both are there, of course, for driver convenience, to ensure that you don't forget to put your lights on in any driving conditions. Sometimes at night time you can come out, forget to turn your lights. They'll automatically come on when light levels are sufficiently low. Likewise, if you're driving into a car park, an underground car park during the course of the day or through a tunnel, again, your lights will come on automatically and go off when you go back into the daylight. So it's a convenience factor for the driver, but also critically a safety factor, so you have excellent visibility and you're visible to other road users at all times.
While you're talking about the lights,
Indeed.
they're extraordinarily bright.
Yes.
Xenon headlamps, I
Yes,
assume, yeah?
absolutely. Buy Xenon on this particular model. Typically the Xenon headlamps will last up to 4 times, up to 6 times indeed, longer than the old style halogen headlamps. But most importantly, they give you, as I say, the closest and nearest thing to natural daylight. So you get a much longer and much wider field of vision as well.
You know, we won't get into the actual stuff under the bonnet, if you don't mind, because 2-litre diesel, low in terms of emissions, very economical. You could say the same about most of the brands on the market today.
Okay.
The thing that I wanted you to tell me a little bit about.
Of course, yeah, fire ahead.
Because I'm a relatively large person. I'd like to say being 6'1", okay, as opposed to anything else. No, don't talk about anything else. What I noticed about this car, without cheating it, I don't know if Tom, who's thankfully holding the camera for us today, can show.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing the front seat all the way forward by any means. Okay?
Right.
There's loads of room here.
Indeed.
So me at 6'1", more than comfortable.
Absolutely.
Normally, Mark, when I'm in a car like that, you couldn't get a 2-year-old into the back seat behind me.
Okay, I understand, yep. And again, terrific leg room, headroom, knee room.
What's going on here? Surely there's something very serious about the statistics or the dimensions in this car. Has it got an extra long wheelbase?
It's a long wheelbase, it's extremely spacious for all occupants, front and rear, and it has, in fairness to it, limousine style legroom and space in the back for the rear occupants, and a whole host of other features there for the rear occupant comfort as well.
Is this why I would see the brand, the Superb in particular, and this is the Combi model, but you'd see a lot of taxis starting to put Superbs on their fleet?
Absolutely.
Because of the additional legroom in the back for passengers.
Amongst other reasons, but indeed the legroom, the spaciousness for the front and rear occupants is absolutely, as the name says, superb as well.
What about like electronic stability control or any of these?
You have electronic stability program, you have electronic brake force distribution, and you've got hydraulic brake assist. Okay. Just to take you through those very briefly. Yeah. In a nutshell, electronic stability program is designed to electronically stabilize the vehicle under all severe driving conditions. It's to ensure that the vehicle goes where you're pointing it, where it's meant to go. So if for some reason you were forced to swerve violently on the road and were losing control of the vehicle, once you have electronic stability program as standard, as you do on this particular model, you will not lose control of the vehicle. Wherever you're trying to point and steer the car, the vehicle will take you by means of what they call a yaw sensor, a steering wheel sensor, but moreover, it'll apply a brake or brakes where required to take off throttle response, just to ensure that the vehicle goes smoothly and effortlessly back onto the direction that you're trying to point it.
Would that help you in the likes of black ice or oil spills or something that you haven't?
Absolutely. It's a terrific safety feature, and it's probably one of the most effective safety features to be equipped on vehicles in more recent times. So it really is a magnificent safety feature. If it's available as an option or if it's available as standard, it's certainly something to give, to be appreciative of, given the fact that it'll keep you and your family safe at all times. The hydraulic brake assist, very simply, is again a terrific safety feature. Research tells us that 1 in 5 drivers do not apply enough braking pressure in an emergency situation. And that may be hard to believe, but if you think about it, if 2 vehicles are going to collide, obviously the driver's natural reaction is to slam on the brakes. But as impact is now inevitable, your body reaction is going to pull back in the seat with fear. And as you do, you're going to take some of the application, or some of the brake pedal application back. So you're pulling back in the seat with fear, the brake pedal is pulling back up. With the hydraulic brake assist, as it's called with Skoda here, some manufacturers call it emergency brake assist, forgive me. But with the hydraulic brake assist, once you slam on the brakes, it doesn't matter how much pressure you apply on the brakes thereafter.
Right.
The system, the hydraulic brake assist, will give you maximum brake force to all 4 wheels, bringing you to a safe and immediate halt. Typically, it shortens the braking distance of this vehicle over some of its competitors by as much as up to 5 meters. And it automatically activates the hazard warning lights, so not only does it help you avoid the accident, pending accident in front, it'll also ensure there's less likely that somebody driving into the rear of you as well.
That's new to me as well. So it's essentially drive-by-wire. You're just giving the signal, I need to stop quickly, and the car does it. You're not stopping the car.
The system hydraulic brake is ensuring maximum braking pressure to all 4 wheels. Now, 5 meters braking distance is a very significant, shorter.
It's life or death, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's the difference.
Most definitely. Now, this vehicle too, like a lot of its competitors, will be very well equipped with the various different options that are the standard fitments here as well. Indeed, if you want to go in and explore inside, we'll
please, can we?
Look at some of the aspects of the vehicle. You go wherever you so wish.
Now, because I was so impressed with the back, I may as well jump in here. But
absolutely.
Can I say, the first thing I found when I sat in, the overall feeling I got was one of quality, luxury, sturdy, sturdy reliability. No plastic feel at all. Very, very executive feeling. Is that something that you think Skoda have actually gone for in a big way?
Now, Shane, you're determined to get me to give my opinion on the vehicle. I think it's fair to say that all manufacturers have made tremendous strides in terms of the build quality of the vehicles. And whilst there might have been enormous disparity between one brand or another in the years gone by, nowadays all manufacturers are making exceptionally good cars. Yes, absolutely, the Skoda is not only, the Superb here is not only an exceptionally well-equipped vehicle, it does indeed exude a tremendous sense of quality throughout. And if you Google and look on the internet, where there's lots of comparisons, especially in the UK, some of the YouTube clippings, you'll hear them talk about the build quality of the vehicle. I mean, as we know, it's under the Volkswagen Group ownership as well, and you can certainly see how that's reflected in the quality use of materials throughout the vehicle. This particular vehicle, as we said earlier on, has the Dsg Gearbox, which is a silky smooth dual clutch gearbox mechanism, and of course you have the option of driving there in the manual mode as well, with the engine running into the manual mode, up and down the transmission as the case may be. Heated seats, both front and rear, and you have electronic operation for driver's seat and for passenger seat. So again, depending on the height or the comfort position for either driver or passenger, at all times you're going to find an ideal seating position in terms of the flexibility and movements under electronic control.
And they're memory seats as well.
They're memory seats, so the memory seats will apply not only to the seating position in terms of the height of the seat, the reclining aspect of the seat, the front part of the seat in terms of additional support underneath your legs, but also you can store not only the memory position for different drivers, but also your preferred door mirror setting as well.
Certainly the finish on the Superb was absolutely amazing, but I wanted Mark to show me how the electronic park assist could help drivers park their Skoda Superb in the narrowest of spaces.
Okay, Shane, so the first thing we're going to do is get out of the parking space we're presently in, and when we come back around towards the vehicles, I want you to pay attention to this screen firstly, because this screen here will identify that there's a gap on a sufficient parking space. And then as we start to maneuver into the parking area, you'll also need to look at the onboard display here, which presently I've got my in park gear here, but it's presently identifying how close I am to the vehicle behind as well as the vehicle in front. And we can see by means of the gap that there's a bit of space in the front, but the orange area lit up here is highlighting that we're close to the vehicle behind us.
So we're fairly well parked at the moment.
Absolutely, it is a tight space as I said earlier on, but first of all, as I say, just pay attention to the screen here and the fact that I am going to use the park assist button when I made the decision that I want to find a parking space. So you're going to hear a few bips now in a moment as we come out of this area first and foremost. Ooh, we'll go forward.
If we want this clip to go viral, Mark, you're going to have to crash the car as we try to get out.
That I won't do. I'd be a foolish man if I did, given the amount of sensors and the auditory aspect of it and also the visual aspect of it here. Anyway, now we'll drive around here and go back up, and I have to take a run. Now in a few moments I'm going to be coming from the right hand side, so in this particular instance I'm going to have to activate the indicator to show that I'm looking for a space on the right hand side. I'll explain that more clearly now in a second as we go back around. So forgive us if you will, we'll just reverse here and drive back around. Typically, because we're driving on the left-hand side of the road, typically it would be looking for a parking space on the left. But in this particular instance, I'm coming in on the right-hand side and looking for a parking space on the right. So if you note, I'm now going to push the Park Assist button and then revert back up here onto the screen. So Park Assist, it's looking for a space on the left-hand side, but when I activate the indicator, it'll flick to the right-hand side, showing me the parking bays there, highlighted there. Now forgive me, I'm coming around here, I need to straighten my wheel, looking for a vehicle on the right, looking for space rather on the right-hand side. The arrow is presently telling me to go forward, or rather it was, and it's now telling me to select reverse gear. So in this case, I select reverse gear as instructed. It's telling me steering intervention active. So in other words, now the vehicle is going to steer itself. This is the Park Assist working by itself. And the screen here has come up showing me the maneuverability of the vehicle in terms of how close we are to the vehicle front and rear. So I'll say nothing from here on in, because primarily you're going to hear the parking sensors detecting the vehicle's front and rear, and I'd like you to pan from the left-hand screen up to the instructions that I'm receiving here on the right-hand screen. Stay on the dash up here for the moment if you will, Shane. Okay. And watch the steering wheel, hands-free.
I'd say it takes a bit of getting used to, Mark, to give the confidence to let go of the steering wheel.
Well, the vehicle can absolutely do it, there's no question of it, and the technology is absolutely first class. Now, the beeps are getting faster, and the orange indicator there is telling me that we're close to the vehicle behind. It's hard to see, but on the dashboard, the Park Assist is now instructing me with a flashing arrow to go forward, to select drive forward gear. I'm allowing it to turn itself firstly because this is such a tight space. We're going forward, me only controlling the brake. It's now telling me to reverse, and the accelerator pedal are the only controls I use. So I'm turning it there again. Finally forward, and that should be it for us. Let it steer that last bit in itself. Selecting forward. And that's it. If you look on the steering wheel there, it says steering intervention finished, please take over steering, and we have plenty of space either side. Now, as I said, that is most impressive given the fact that this is a very tight space and quite a long and indeed spacious vehicle as well. So come out once again and we'll have a look and see how neat and snug that is. Protects the bodywork, protects, as you rightly said earlier on, the residual value of the vehicle, and it just makes parking absolutely effortless. Goodness only knows where technology is going to go in the future, because this is really, really a tremendous feature in every respect.